This podcast is rated R for restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guardian. Mission 250.
Welcome to the Mission 250 podcast, where we are watching the best movies ever made according to IMDb. And we're pretty close to finishing the list, so we're kicking it down the road. The can is just continually rolling down the dirt street. And we're in Oscar season. So right now, we're going through and watching all of the Best Picture nominees. We have, this is the fourth left we have. I don't know why I'm trying to do math here. We're doing all of them. This week, we're doing The Secret Agent. We saw it in the theaters. And we're going to start with see it in the theaters, stream it, or skip it. I'm doing great. I'm not sick. Brain's working full capacity over here. Let's start with TC. What do you think you should do here?
Stream it.
John.
Yeah, and I think stream it too. It's long.
I'm going to say see it in the theaters, but I have a
Good.
little asterisk, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that.
Okay.
All right, 20-second spoiler-free review. I'll go first, since it seems like I'll maybe be the most positive. This movie confused the fuck out of me. It's really good looking, really good set pieces and design, and the whole aesthetic of the movie is great. But I was confused the entire movie, and I'm still confused, and that is pretty annoying. I feel like the movie gods are like, you know, they've damned me since we made fun of F1 for so long last weekend. So it's like, yeah, had a confusing one instead.
Yeah, it's a no narrator for Denny this time.
Mm-hmm. I would have liked a narrator.
Yeah, could have used one.
Yeah.
All right, TC, what do you think?
Well, yeah, it was pretty long. They nailed the tone. They nailed the time. But I'm actually really glad to hear that you say that you were confused the whole time, because I thought maybe I was just not paying attention, but I got really lost. There was some good acting, but I could have, I probably could have skipped it. But
John, what do you got?
I was hoping one of you would explain this to me, but fine. So I feel it's similar to No Other Choice, where I feel like it's a lot of these really nice segments, and I'm not sure how they all string together. Sort of, I kind of understand what happened, but I love the sense of place and time. So that also just made this very enjoyable to sit back and watch. The acting is really good. The characters are great to watch. Ending was a big what the fuck. I was with
dude, that came out of nowhere.
I know. I was in the crowd, and everybody, because we had this crowd at Pop's Theater, and it was like everybody was like, "What?
What's going on?"
That's the end of the movie? The fuck?
Yeah.
I was going to say see it in the theater just to explain my little asterisk. It sounds like TC was bumped it up because he doesn't know, and I don't know, so I bumped it up from stream it to see it in the theater just because it is really pretty. I think the best part of the movie is how it looks. Mm-hmm. And there's some really good camera work, and if you could just appreciate that, seeing it on the big screen is the way to see it.
Fun crowd shots, too. Lots of
really big scale. And also, I feel like if I saw this at home, I would have gone to my phone because it is so slow, and I didn't know what was going on the entire time. Being forced to sit through in the theater, at least I know that the movie didn't make any sense, and it wasn't because I wasn't paying any attention.
I can put together the story now.
Can you? I got questions, John.
Okay,
this podcast.
I think I understand it to some extent. It just jumped around sort of without warning and without without a lot of reason, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, and now here's from the perspective of the hairy leg. And it's like, what? Okay,
dude, people did not like that part of the movie. They're like, what the fuck is this?
That came out of nowhere.
I know, but it again, each of those parts was fun once you sank into it, but connecting them together was a little difficult. It all fits for the time. It all fits the place and what was going on. And there actually was a hairy leg thing where the newspapers would blame, this actually was happening, that the newspapers would blame attacks on gays or hide police activities by creating this hairy leg myth that people like to read about.
It wasn't necessarily hiding it, though. Like, it depends. There's a lot of different... so they wouldn't be able to publish the stories if it wasn't made up. So they were getting the real stories out there under the guise of
so they were
false.
also sort of like... So it wasn't necessarily that they were fully propaganding it, but they were also trying to be sneaky.
Right. It's a whole bunch of different stuff. It's a pretty confusing history with the hairy leg thing. But it's not just bad. Some people were using it for good as well. It's messy. Just like the movie, messy. And that's what I got out of it. The whole situation was messy, confusing, and that's what the movie was. So I guess fine.
And that's almost like, if I'm thinking of it like, but they don't set it up this way to help you along. Like, I'm almost thinking like it's from
the movie's called The Secret Agent.
I know
that by itself is so, like, at the end of the movie. Was he a secret
Is he an
agent?
agent?
Like, I don't even know.
I don't even know. Like, it doesn't even make it. What?
No, and from the trailer,
I was so
thought,
expecting like a real spy drama.
So was I.
Or a
it threw me
thriller.
off so much, and even at the end, I was like, he must have really been a secret agent, and they just didn't touch on that portion of his life because I didn't understand that they skipped over like so many important parts of the movie. Like we got. What the movie showed us was like in between these massively important parts of this guy's life, and they barely talked about the important parts. We just got like the aftermath, and we're supposed to.
We got like the normal day to day of the guy who's supposed to be an assassin of some sort, or
but he's
agent.
So I think I don't know if this is the.
You don't know exactly.
No,
what do you
know?
Exactly.
Exactly.
I'm trying to say this before you two just started talking. I was trying to say I think the idea, at least, is that it's almost like you're getting it from the two girls in the present day's experience where they've just got pieces of his history. They don't know all of it. They have some tapes. They have some things they're putting together. And so you're also just kind of getting pieces.
They should have started the movie with that, though. Don't you think? If the whole movie was from their
instead of
perspective,
it coming in halfway through,
halfway into the fucking movie.
Did you listen? I said the movie didn't lead with this, and it should.
Like, who are these two? Are they cops? Are they what's going on here?
So to some extent, that's it. I mean, he really was just. So he was,
and that doesn't really track either, right? Because like they were doing these tapes, the interviews they're having, like all they're listening to is these interview tapes.
Right.
But the intro scene of the movie is him getting stopped at a gas station.
Right.
How do they know about that?
No. Right. So they don't. So that doesn't.
And
work
if they just read a newspaper about how that's happening, why don't we get a narrated portion of it when he gets murdered at the end? All we see is a newspaper scrap.
Right.
We don't get a little story for us.
Yeah, you're right. It all seems like these separate segments. That segment was great, by the way. I loved it. Look,
The intro was awesome. I thought it was great.
The body in the road and
Oh, hell of a way to open up.
Seriously.
Right?
I was like, okay, we're in
and
for
it took them a
treat here.
minute to get there, which I thought was great because I was just like, all right, so what are they talking about? And then it was a shock. I wasn't really expecting it to be like, oh, dead body covered in a cardboard box.
Yeah.
And then the dogs. I mean, just like that whole scenario is just a lot of like, holy shit, what is this going to be about?
But I thought this was setting us up for a thriller. I thought we were like,
it's supposed to be, isn't it?
Well,
they call it a thriller, dude. I don't know.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
There's a good 10 minutes there that's pretty thrilling.
Towards the end, the little chase around the shootout. Towards the end, that was
thrilling. It was really well done. I was really excited
when he got shot in the face. I was like, damn, that's good.
Yeah, and then it just cut. You don't. I'm like all excited and into it now because I'm wondering what's going to happen to the police chief. I'm wondering what's going to happen to him. Even if he does get shot, I really want to know. And nope, you're just right there.
That's the end.
The
cut
friend gets
to
shot.
way into the future.
So we don't know. We don't get to know who actually assassinated him, like who actually killed him in the end, and what happened to everybody else and whatnot.
And I didn't pick up it was the same day that he died. Did you pick that up? I was reading like the Wikipedia page or something, and the newspaper article of him dead on the ground. The main
that was the
character,
day he died.
That was the same day that the shootout happened outside the police station.
I figured sort of.
I didn't get that at all. I was like, he just died. Why the fuck did that happen?
No, I didn't even know.
I'm not following.
I just knew he died.
So John, did you think it was that day or not?
No. I didn't know for sure, but I felt like what I felt like is that though, I felt like I also kept thinking that even after they showed us that he died, then we were going to come back and see something that we would still get that part filled in because it was done so masterfully. The build up to that part, like it just seems like such a really interesting choice to show you like the first half of the climactic chase scene, and not the second half.
Interesting is a kind way to put it.
I know.
I would say
if it's a deliberate, if it's a deliberate,
you're being
choice,
very polite, John.
I'm trying, but wondering.
But there are things like No Country for Old Men where they took out the protagonist from dying, but that was done in a way because it already introduced all these other characters as main characters, right? And it fit more in the movie. Whereas this one, you're just following this one character, even though it's an ensemble, But they just end him through a newspaper article, and it was so unsatisfying.
Yep. And even with No Country for Old Men, you still know what happened. You still know what and how. You don't see certain things, but everything's still filled in for you. This is like, I was trying to think like if it is back to this idea, this perspective that's sort of real life, like things happen to people and you don't know what happened and you know parts of it, but you're right. That's not very consistent either with, like if they're trying to show it from the perspective of the two girls, there's so many things that's happening that they would have no idea of, whether it's from the newspaper or audio tapes. So that doesn't really work. And so it is really sort of just confusing.
And it just
in
doesn't
that sense,
care
yeah.
about the narrative either. Like the whole point, like you said, if they started it out with the people researching it, the movie would have been like
Would have had
twice
something
as
tied
clear.
to it.
It would have
Yeah.
been twice as clear. I would have known
Right.
like what was going on a
know.
little bit.
Because
But,
like we
I
would
was-
have been set up like, okay, they're obviously learning about
right.
something, and then we're learning about that too. But
Yeah.
then it was like that. We didn't get any of that linear process.
because
it
when
was
they
out of
first-
order almost.
Right, and when they first introduced the girls, I thought someone had fucked up because I saw an iPhone. I was like, "Oh, that's not time
It was
consistent."
jarring.
You're like, we're jumped into the future now again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess everything
Right.
we've been watching so far has been these two college students researching tapes.
Right. So
What? This is the movie we're watching?
Yeah,
Why?
I know. It was.
I thought there was going to be
very
some
confusing.
kind of consequence, but again, death, I guess, is the consequence. But still, I thought there was going to be more to it than that.
But I think in a way the story
Yes.
isn't necessarily that complicated in that he was a director of this university research firm. Company people came in, they got all fired and kicked out. But this guy was a big, powerful guy. He was almost kind of a mob boss sort of guy. And his wife insulted him. And then he gets his wife killed. Assumedly, we don't see how that happens, right?
So I
But-
thought the same thing. We think the wife gets killed, and
Right,
not
the wife
pneumonia
gets killed
like
by
he tells
him.
the son.
Like he tells
Yeah.
the son that his wife died of illness because
Here's a question, John, because I think that too. But why is he so surprised when he learns that he has a hit out on him? If they're already killing people in his family, shouldn't he be expecting that? And if he doesn't
Right.
think that there's a hit out on him, why the fuck is he running and hiding in this house in the first place? If he's not afraid of death,
So that's
Like,
all
what
true.
the fuck
Well, I
is
thought
he
he was.
doing?
I thought he was
might have
running
been,
from this stuff the whole way
yeah,
through.
Yeah, they're all.
But
they're
didn't he
all
seem
refugees.
surprised
But-
when he was like, "I have a hit out
Right.
on me"?
Well, maybe it's like he's like worried that he's going to get put in jail or something, which is different than having.
But they already killed his
I
wife.
don't know. Yeah, I
Or
know.
was he just trying
Yeah.
to like act like he didn't know, even though he knows?
No, that's a
seemed
good
like he
point.
didn't know.
And what did he? What was he going to?
Why is
prove?
this movie so confusing?
Well,
I don't know.
Okay, you're right.
Why is
You're
it
right.
so
There's, okay,
confusing?
I take back.
There's just like a lot
that
of
is
confusing shit, and then
Yeah.
meanwhile you're trying to follow all these characters because
Right.
there's
And
a
what
lot
was
of
he
them. It's
going
not
to
just him.
prove?
You know,
Yeah. What was
like
he
the
going
old
to
lady.
prove by-
The old lady
Oh,
came
sorry.
in for like a good 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I was just like,
Yeah.
Jesus
I liked
Christ,
her.
who's she? I mean, she's
Oh,
interesting
she was
to
awesome.
watch.
She was my favorite.
But
I
like,
loved, I
what-
loved her character.
Where are we?
I don't know,
it
but I
set
loved
up
her character.
something, but I wasn't sure what.
No, but she
know?
was so good. She hasn't. I was looking at her like wiki page, and she only started acting in her 70s. Like, and she,
That's great.
Her character was so awesome. Like, oh yeah, here's the neighbor upstairs. She wants you, and I mean, she just like always like several times blurts out what she's not supposed to say, and it's just really cool. She was fantastic.
Yeah, I liked her. a lot.
But what was the deal with like finding the documentation of his mother? Like, I don't even know
Why
what
couldn't he
that
find
helped
it?
with.
Why-
And
No,
he was
and
in there. Why couldn't he just fucking
Well, and
find it? I didn't
I
understand
just-
it.
And if he did find it, what does it mean? Because I just still don't understand what that does for anybody if he finds it.
He just wanted some information on his mom because he had none.
I thought somehow that it was going to. He was coming there to find the documentation on his mom so he could prove some kind of case against the bad guy, or because, and I did originally think because he's some kind of secret agent and he's like taking down the government. Is he talking to that bureau guy? It sounds like that they're like investigating, but we don't get any information filled in there at all about what that means. Who that other guy he's working with?
I don't
Like,
even
it
know who you're
seemed like-
talking about right now.
I don't even. But the other guy where he calls
other
him.
guy-
You know, the
Right.
guy,
Right.
and the
There's
other
the one
guy, the one guy that does the
where
thing.
he calls to like report in because as if he's a secret agent. He's calling that other guy and they're like, "Oh, our lines are tapped. You can't call us."
Oh
Okay,
yeah, and then
that
send
guy.
me the
Yeah,
number and I'll call you
Right.
back.
That
And-
made me think
yeah.
like he's working for some kind of agency, and that him finding the information on his mom is going to somehow build some
solve
case
a
of
crime of some sort.
Yes.
Right.
So I mean, again, lots of holes there, but you're right. It's just none of it is like filled in really.
I couldn't help but compare this to like The Lives of Others when I watched this because it's kind of about the same thing. Just like, you know, regular people under a dictatorship being spied on, etc., feeling threatened. And that movie is one of my favorite movies I've ever seen. And this one I think if they just put it together differently, if they chose to tell the story differently by adding in the parts that we actually care about, I feel like this movie isn't about the events happening. It's about the mystery of the events we don't get to see. Like the way it's put together, it's kind of, it drags us
deliberate.
along being like, don't you want to figure out what's going on? You're like, yeah, kind of. Can you
And
please
then there's
fucking
no
tell me?
payoff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You get nothing.
But it seems like
That's so
it's
true.
done it's done so systematically that it feels deliberate.
It does feel deliberate, and it would make sense if the movie itself, if like it doesn't seem like the story it's about is as confusing as the movie is.
Right.
If the background of it, if the whole plot that this movie was about was very, very confusing, and the movie was confusingly put together, like I don't know if you've ever seen Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. It's a spy movie, very, very confusing, but what they're doing is very confusing. So it kind of makes sense that it's all confusing. This seemed, from what I can tell, like you said, John, a pretty straightforward thing, but it's hard to understand because the way they decided to make the movie was overly confusing for whatever the fuck reason. I honestly don't know. It kind of bugs me that they decided to do that. It's like you have to be, you really have to think about the movie the entire time while you're watching it.
That's exactly what I want, right?
Like
Just sit down and really
thing
think
you're saying,
while I'm watching the movie.
But no, it makes me wonder: is there is it a David Lynch thing where there's just pieces or things, or there's an approach, a style that I'm just not getting,
But you can't really do David Lynch with like a historical drama based on real events, right? I wouldn't think you'd want to do it that way.
There shouldn't be this out of order process.
I don't know.
We're talking about specific times, but I guess since we're like going back and forth between him and his grandfather or whatever it is, I guess that kind of screws things up a little bit too. So I didn't know when they were jumping in time, and that kind of screwed with me as well. And I think that's kind of he didn't age well, or in one way or the other. When they tried to like make him a different age, he kind of looked exactly like he did before too. I noticed on some of like the makeup part of it. So I just got confused all around. I mean, it sounds like I was worse than you guys. It sounds like I think
it might be worse. Were they aging the main character?
I thought they
were trying to, right? Well, just
I thought they were trying
lots
to.
of hair or less hair.
Oh yeah. When he was when he was like fuzzy.
When he was
the guy called him Harry
versus non-hippie. Yeah,
and I was supposed to be back in time, right? And he looked exactly the same, except maybe like long hair. But I don't know.
I don't know how far back in time it was, though. That might have been like this. I don't know, but it's just so confusing because there's so many pieces of it that it seems so well made. That's what's also utterly confusing. Like if this is all kind of shitty with shitty acting, it'd just be, this is just a shitty movie. That's not what's there. Like again, in pieces, it's really, really good. Like that chase scene, that shooting scene, right where he starts from the phone booth and he goes and gets the cop friends to intercept the guy. That was about as good as any of that kind of thing I've seen, I think, in terms of
I did have one question. I thought it was really good too, but why was his blood on and off? Like he was bleeding a lot and he lost the trail every once in a while. Why? We saw, they showed us the blood on the ground. There was a line of blood because the guy was bleeding a lot, but the guy lost him. I didn't get that either.
Yeah. Well, he maybe like dragged it. I don't know. Was dragging it around. I don't know. You're right, though. It does seem like he's like maybe hopping on one foot. Maybe he's kind of holding it and then letting it go once in a while.
Oh, he like put his finger in it for a bit. That hurt him though. But so like he just could do that for a little bit. And then he had to pull it out because it was hurting too bad.
Yeah. That kind of thing.
Okay, I got it.
I don't know.
Sounds good.
But again,
I agree. It was good.
Just those pieces are really, or them sitting around just talking was good. Good stuff. Like all the refugees there talking about their histories. It was good. Well acted, really interesting, thinking about these people coming from these different places or going to different places. Some of them wanting to talk about what happened, others not wanting to say who they really are. All of that is really cool. But that's just like, then it's just these little pieces of this stuff.
But didn't you find it annoying that you didn't know what the threat was?
No, I didn't even know what they were. I know. Again, maybe if you know more about the time and the place, you know what they're refugees from or what they're running from and all of that stuff. But it's still very confusing because we're not given any of that, and that's kind of okay. But we're given these other bad guys, but we're not given much about them either necessarily. And so there's just so many missing pieces.
Yeah, yeah, that's true because like. They were at some points I was like, oh, are we going to start to learn who these mob people are? And you're right, it never kind of came to fruition. They just kind of fizzled out within the story, and these are the guys coming after him. That's all we needed to know, I guess. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of time with those people, and you really don't get to learn anything about them.
Right, and that's like a subplot that goes on for about an hour.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
I mean, it is 2 hours and 40 minutes. Which is exactly a short movie.
That's what you call long.
So there were parts like that you really didn't get any kind of payoff, not only from an overarching like story, but also in these little subplots. You're just kind of like pushed down this road. And I guess they're trying to show who he was at whatever given time that is when they're showing those guys. But I didn't get much out of that, to be honest. As far as like, I know why he's making these decisions coming up, right?
Yeah, and I didn't get, like, we're getting a picture of who this guy was. If that's what the movie is supposed to be about, is who this guy was. We don't know how accurate of a picture that is because we're from these people in the future. I kind of already said this before, but like they're listening to tapes, and we're getting his character through the tapes, and that's who the younger. I don't know if it's the younger girl, but one of the girls, women at the very end of the movie, ends up giving the son, who is now like
Flavia,
an old
yeah. doctor,
a USB thing with all the audio on it. So there's like importance with the audio, but there are parts of the movie that wouldn't be recorded in such a way. So I don't know how we're getting that backstory, because like the movie wants you to believe you're going through history through what's documented, but
I don't know
all we're
for
hearing
sure.
is the tapes.
Right.
What else are we getting?
I don't know for sure
what
if
this
the
is.
movie is wanting to do that either, though. That's the other thing. Is
It intercuts that shit in the movie, like
I know.
they're listening to it, and that's what's happening.
Yeah, but it only.
This
starts
is when
in
the narrator would have been great.
Yes.
There would have been someone to trust and anchor the
it-
story on
right,
like where
like
we are.
somebody who was there.
We need the F1 guy, John. Come on in.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
And then he goes down to the gas station. The gas station turns the corner. He's shot. He's shot dead, folks. He's shot. That's what we need.
I could have used it.
Yeah, but I don't even know, like, because the girls aren't brought in. I don't think until
Halfway through the movie,
Well,
I think.
halfway
It
through
was
the
a
movie,
long-
It
we
wasn't.
don't- we
I
don't
think around that.
right. We don't see them until we're in that room with Ella. Or,
And it doesn't say like a date, right? It just jumps to the next scene. Doesn't say anything.
Oh,
and then
no,
all of a
no.
sudden, it's two new characters in the future,
Right.
And they're listening to tapes.
Yeah,
Movie really,
but I think
doesn't. No dumb people go to
Yeah.
see this movie. Okay, not even like.
Maybe
you have to
that's
be
the
really smart.
issue: is that we're all too stupid, and like
we're too dumb?
the real film buffs at
Again,
the,
I
the
would
festivals are
think
like,
so.
I understand it perfectly.
Like I said, I mean,
it's
I've
about
done this
impression.
like with Lynch films or others. I've sat through these films, go, this is really well made. I'm not getting something. And I was wondering, I wouldn't have been surprised. Like, Denny, you were like saying, see it in the theater. And I was saying, oh, Denny gets this. I'm looking forward to that.
I don't get it.
No. Damn it.
And the thing is, this movie.
But I will
it
say
might-
that this movie isn't bad, right? Like there's enough good in it on the production side that you kind of overlook a lot of those twists and turns, because you get brought down some crazy looking alley, or you get around some beautiful scenery of where he was in the past, and so you're wowed by that for a little bit before you then get sort of back on track.
And I assumed with the length of this movie that things were going to wrap up for us. Like I was like, they're going to let us know what's going on by the end. So I was like pretty happy the entire movie, being like, oh, they're going to wrap it up. It'll be fine at the end.
Yeah.
And then they don't. I'm like, what the fuck? Why?
That's the thing is like, if they would have wrapped it up, I would have been a lot warmer on the film. Because I did like TC said, I enjoyed. We went places. I enjoyed the experience. We all like this when we're given a really good sense of place. Like you're just put there and you feel like you're there in the moment, and not just because you're a part of some drama or story. And it does that really well. But yeah,
I didn't think it did, honestly.
Oh really? Oh, I like the crowd scenes. I loved whether the carnival, or I loved
The narrative
when
was
he's
too
traveling.
choppy for me to get lost in the time.
I
For me.
see. That's fair. Maybe
But
too busy
visually,
going.
though, is I think what
I
John's
visually,
saying.
yeah.
visually
Yeah.
in terms of the camera work and the way everything's staged and the way people are acting, all
But
of that
what I
works.
like mostly about that, being in a place is the story is linear and I know what's happening and
Right,
I can
that's fair,
follow
that's fair.
and I feel like I'm there. So I
Right,
actually
you're
feel
too
like
busy
I'm living.
going. Yeah, you're too busy like
Here
whining
you're
in the
getting,
back
like,
seat, going,
fucking-
"What are we doing?
Going down a
here?"
one way every time. Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? That's not the right way. Oh, where am I going now? I don't know. I'm lost. I'm fucking downtown Boston. I'm lost. Right?
Lost.
Jesus.
But I do feel like this movie, we're saying we're too dumb to understand this, but I do feel like there's a lot of critics out there that watch a movie, are confused, read about it, and they're like, oh, I don't want to see
that all
stupid.
makes so much
like,
sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
This
like,
film
it
is-
makes sense to me, and you're like,
Yeah.
fuck you.
This
I
is
don't know,
really
because
high.
I just read about it,
it is.
recently, and I still don't quite understand. So
But I think I really do wish I also walked away just with a bad feeling about it because of how it wrapped up. It was so, and because
If you listen to the critics, it's intentional because that's what reality is,
That's
right,
life,
John?
right?
The feeling
Oh.
of uncertainty,
But the
not
thing is-
knowing,
yeah, but the-
unsatisfied.
if
Like,
I wanted to go
annoying-
watch reality, I
Yeah.
would just fucking go outside.
But I
Right?
feel like they were really teasing us with that chase scene. I think I was feeling like finally this is all coming together, and there's going to be some confrontation. I'm going to learn a little bit more about what's really going on here and really what the conflict is. This is where you have the big buildup, right? And this is where some things are going to click into place. That's what it felt like. It really felt like that's what's happening.
And instead, what do you get, John?
Boom. No, you don't. You go back to
you
the
get a
present.
fast forward 50 years in a conversation in a fucking doctor's office is what you get.
So again, and maybe that intentionally that's what the movie's trying to do is just fuck with you. And so
through the title. The title is the first thing that fucks with you. It doesn't give a shit that you're going to enjoy your movie experience whatsoever. It's like, they might as well call this like Austin Powers 4 and then just made this movie.
Nice.
Because it's not what you get in the title is not what you get in the movie.
That's true.
At all.
That's true.
Right.
And it was confusing to the point where I thought he still was. I was like, at the end, I was like, was he a fucking secret agent? And they just didn't touch on that stuff. Because so one of the things, the amount of information they withhold from you led me to think that way. Mm-hmm. But also, one of the people that he was a teacher with or whatever was also the woman that dissected the shark, I think. Right?
Oh.
The woman teacher that was like doing the dissecting of the shark, she was in the earlier scenes when he was all hairy and the guy came and talked to
was she? I didn't
so.
make that connection.
It could have been a similar looking woman or the same woman.
I forgot all about the shark doctor.
Yeah. So I could be wrong, but they looked similar. They were kind of like dirty blonde. They had the hair up, kind of a long face, looked very similar to me. And I thought maybe it was the same person. So if that's the case, then why is she in two different parts of the movie? Secret agents?
I don't know.
Stuff they're not telling us? I don't fucking know.
What's the deal with you? I don't know.
Or they just like reused an actor. And it's like,
maybe.
yeah.
Why does the police chief want to take some guy he just met across the street to have some other guy show him his bullet wounds in his leg? That was just a very bizarre
weird, right?
sequence.
And then make fun of him.
Yeah,
I don't understand
that whole sequence was that to me also like that threw me off a bit. And also just I didn't quite understand. They were kind of sitting there forever. I didn't understand why they were all they all had to be there at this building in front of typewriters just because some other person had to give a deposition, why they all had to sit there and do nothing. That didn't quite make sense to me either. And then anyway, so there were a couple of pieces there where I was like, what?
Wait, so they went to the German because they thought he was a Nazi.
Right.
And they were making fun of him.
They were, but it's like the police chief, like, oh, I like you so much. I want to take you across the street and show you this guy who I think is fascinating. So come on. Okay. Like, this is weird. I didn't understand what the fuck was going on there, where that goes, like what that means. Like, why are we doing this?
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just
to show how bad of a guy the police chief is, I guess.
Yes, but it's just even that showing that as a bad guy that just doesn't seem like I don't even understand that as a bad guy motivation. I like you. You look like a cop. Let's go look at the Nazi.
Because he wasn't actually a Nazi. I think it was supposed to be like this guy is so stupid he can't.
Right. Well,
there's
a
like Jewish
German
that he doesn't know
the
difference or whatever.
But even just none of that. All of that was very confusing to me.
Yeah. The typewriter thing I didn't quite get either. But I mean, it was the ID. It just so happened the first day on the job, he was working at the ID thing. Right. They used it as a fake police station to protect this rich woman who got the servant's kid killed or whatever the fuck happens.
Yeah. So I guess they all had to sit there to make it look like it was populated, I guess, or something. But
they typically worked there, right? The only reason he wasn't doing anything is because it was his first day. Everyone else knew what they were doing.
But they were all sitting there doing nothing because they didn't open until 7. There was nothing for them to do. They were supposed to just be there early, I guess, just so that there were people in the room to make it look like it was a police station, I guess. So for the rich woman who was coming in to complain,
thought it was a police station.
Why do you need to do that? I don't get it. Like she could just go to any other police station. Why does she have to go to this police station? That's a pretend police station. She could go to the real police station. I don't know. They could go interview her in her home to give her deposition. I don't know why they need to bring her there, but I don't know. I just none of that.
I mean, I don't know either, John.
I mean,
I got nothing for you.
I just
doesn't make any sense to me.
No. But I was still like,
I didn't like it how he beelined it towards the main character, the cop guy. He's like, "Hey, I like the cut of your jib. You're a handsome looking dude. You want to be best friends? Let me give you my fucking cell phone number. We can hang out."
Right. And there again, I'm thinking, oh, this guy knows he's a secret agent. This guy knows he's under. I'm trying to think that this means something. You know,
I was doing this the entire way too, John.
Yeah,
it was it hurt my head. I was so many times like, "Oh, is he a secret agent now? Is he a secret agent now?"
No, yeah, right.
Still
no.
no?
And that's why he's taking him over to see the Nazi guy because he actually knows that the Nazi guy is also a collaborator. I was trying to think that this all like tied together or something, and so it's just it's too bad.
I think the whole point of it is that the whole situation is messy, right? That's like
life is just random and fucked up, and you don't get
even
you
when
only
you're
get to
a
know
fucking
certain
assassin.
parts.
It doesn't go your way.
Yeah, and I guess so, but it just doesn't feel, that part doesn't feel artfully done. Then, I mean, again, maybe I'm too stupid, but that's the kind of message. There's a way to artfully provide the message to there's a point to where you want to let your audience in, I think.
Yes.
Even if it's not until after you've seen the film and you research it or something, fine. But even that doesn't seem to work. Like, I'm not like, I tried to read up on the plot summary. I'm not seeing anything here that like helps me thread it together and be like, oh, this is what they're doing. This is what they're. No, I don't. I just, because even with some of Lynch's films,
confusing for the sake of being confusing. If this movie was linear, I would have liked it more, but maybe it wouldn't have like gotten all the awards, because it is, the way it's put together is almost art house. Where I would only recommend this movie to people who like art house things, and I would also tell them ignore the title of the movie.
Right.
I would literally say that. Not a spoiler.
Not a thriller.
It's
not an action movie.
No, it's a totally new genre. It's
you
art
will
house,
be confused.
Art house realism.
And yeah, don't go.
That's
They think the editing is art house.
I
mean,
kind of
inaccessible.
like the idea. Yeah. But
I watch a lot of weird shit,
That's
dude.
the
And this
only
movie was
barometer.
inaccessible.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at least
What
with
else you
art
got
house,
then?
usually,
Is there any
they
trivia?
go.
Is there any like
A little bit. I get more questions, guys.
Well, I was just
Oh,
going to say,
boy.
tolerance.
I know.
is-
but at least with art house, if they're going inscrutable, it's usually at least interesting or fanciful. They're like just throwing other shit at the wall for you to contemplate.
Yeah, not just like putting things out of order.
Not like,
It's-
not like sort of making it look like this is a more this is another realistic thing happening, as if it connects to the thing that just happened. When you try to figure it out, it doesn't.
Yeah, but then you got the leg, and that just
And you
kind
got
of
the
gives
leg.
you a nice little
The
comic
leg,
relief.
the leg was nice. Yeah, I like the leg.
Let's talk about the
POV
leg,
shots.
the actual leg, not the weird animated leg, but the leg and the shark. Why was that such a plot point? Whose leg was that? Why do we care?
There seemed to be some indication that it was somebody that the dirty cops had done away with, right? Because
Yeah, but why do we care about that leg? They focus on it so much.
I don't know, because somehow it relates to the hairy leg, but I don't know why it does. I don't. Yeah. I don't know, like, why the fuck when they like get the leg, why they didn't bother to weight the leg down when they threw it back in the river. They know about weighting shit down when you throw things in the river. You don't.
I know, right? We've seen him do it before.
Yeah. So anyway,
Also, I don't know. That whole leg scene where they bribed the one guy in the morgue. Don't you think the morgue guy would like get caught? I guess it's so corrupt that nobody's going to check on the leg.
yeah,
Even though it seems.
Yeah. It's obviously it's a goat leg, but then the newspapers strike. That was the newspaper, like, hairy leg strikes again. That's why they put the goat leg in.
But it's also like a leg. So you're not going to be able to identify a person from a leg, right? So why do they even care?
Right. This was like before DNA and all of that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
I didn't get that at all. They spent a lot of time on it. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I would find it really confusing. The scene, I think, that would have made a lot of sense if I wasn't expecting the movie to be a secret agent. It would have like told me a lot about what the movie was actually about. Was when he was giving his little talk to the Elsa woman in, I don't know, whoever's house that was, and he was describing what happened.
Right.
And he told the story about the night him and his now dead wife went to dinner with this like terrible guy who came and kicked them all out of the university. And he said a line. His father was in the room as well. It was his father, right?
Right.
Or like his stepfather was in the room.
Yeah.
And he turns to his stepfather and he says,
Father-in-law,
the one part
rather.
I didn't tell you, father-in-law, the one part I didn't tell you is this. And then he tells him about the whole dinner scene and how there was a confrontation, etc.
Right.
But that was confusing because this is the first time we heard any of the stuff they were talking about, right?
Right.
That was
This is
that
the first
just
time
really fucking
we
confused
didn't
me,
know.
like
Right.
thinking that I missed something earlier in the movie. But why
another-
would you write
I
a line
mean,
of dialogue like that? in a
I don't
movie?
know.
Just-
I like the dinner scene though. The dinner scene was tense. It was well done. Like it was, awful people being shitty and people trying to react to that kind of shittiness. And I liked it. But so that was like, again, the confusing part was like, wow, this is really intense and I'm really scared for her and so on. But yeah, you're right. I still, in the context of it, I still don't know where we're going with all of this. Other than that, this is how his wife ended up getting killed, I assume, but we don't know the details there about how that happened afterwards.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Do they have everyone at the ID department that was hiding? Did everyone in that apartment building, work at the ID department?
No. No, the refugees, or they don't like to be called refugees. I don't know what they call them, rebels, but no, because we didn't see the other people working there. He just wanted to work at the ID department because he needed to find the papers for his mom, and for some reason that we don't know. So somehow he was able to. That's why he went to the city, which it wasn't to get his kid. He only then seemed to want to get his kid. Later, or because his life was in danger?
Is that why he went to this other city? I thought it was because he was running away.
So yeah. Well,
so was it running away, trying to find his mother, or get his kid? Which one was it?
I don't know.
I guess it was all three in the end.
Nobody knows.
I'm not sure what was going on there. So I'm not sure why he left. I don't know where he was, and then why his kid was with his in-laws, and then why he decided to come back. None of that is given to us, really.
God, this movie. The more we talk about it,
other than like now he's got passports, so he's going to be able to get passports to this rebel group. So now he and his kid are just going to get the fuck out. That seemed to start maybe made sense, I guess, but yeah.
But the 4 days was too long. He got shot dead in the street by who knows.
That's right.
Who.
Right.
Because like it wouldn't be the other assassin guy. Because like one of the younger assassin got killed.
Right.
By here's another question. 2 assassins. They're wandering around. They're trying to find this guy. Towards the end of the movie, they're just like, I think we need another assassin. Let's get a really cheap, shitty assassin to do all the dirty work for us. That's a great idea.
No, that actually, I was thinking that was a fun plot point in the sense of like, that's what you do. Like then their hands are clean. Like it becomes even hard to trace. There's like 3 layers of separation. So they get this guy to kill that guy. They give him a small amount of their money. Then they're not even at the scene or anything. It's just like makes it even harder to trace. Right. And if that guy gets caught and fucked up or killed, then they're still clean and they still get.
No, they're
money.
not, because that's why he chased him afterwards. Because if he gets caught, then they'll be able to point him at these 2 assassin guys.
Right. I
Seems
know.
highly
Well,
risky.
that wasn't supposed to happen. Anyway, I just thought that was just, I don't know. You're right. Maybe it's a bad plan, but it sort of seems, it's subcontracting. You do it all. People do it all the time.
I mean, yeah, but what's the point? I don't know. I'd want an assassin that's going to get their hands dirty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Call me old-fashioned.
I mean,
but,
when you go next time, I'm sure that's in your contracts along with given all the things that you know about killing people that as a seasoned person that we're all worried about.
I don't hire anybody, John. I do it myself.
Right. Well, also when you hire other people, you make sure that there's that's in your clause that there's no subcontracting.
Yes.
You just sort of lay that out there that if I find out you subcontracted, deal's off. Right, that's fair.
No payment.
That's right.
What else? That might be it for the movie. This movie's up for a lot of awards.
Yeah,
it's got 4 Oscar nominations.
Nominated for Best Picture, right?
Best Picture, nominated for
It's
Best
really
Picture, Best International Film, Best Actor, and Best Casting. That new category there.
I like, meaning that's like kind of an ensemble award, right? Is that what that's kind of getting at? That's cool. I kind of like.
I can see this one winning because there were a lot of good actors shoved in there.
Yep.
It won the Cannes for Best Actor and Best Director, and it won the Golden Globe for Best Actor and Best Non-English Picture. Funny how they choose different language. It used to be foreign pictures, but for some reason that's not good anymore. I don't know why it wouldn't be, but the Oscars call it international film, and the Golden Globes call it non-English language pick.
International seems
inclusive language. Is what they
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very strange. Small amount of trivia. 13-minute standing ovation at Cannes. I feel like everyone's just like, we got to clap, right? I don't know what the movie was about.
When do we stop? I don't know, man. When do we stop? Is it rude? That other film was shit. They got 7 minutes. We can't. This was better than that. But
The faster we clap, the faster we get out of here. Okay, let's go.
I don't know, man.
Clapping at double time.
I don't want to go. I wonder if there's stories of clap exhaustion, wrist fatigue, carpal tunnel at Cannes. You got to there's a lot of problems that are happening with those poor audience people. They're just falling over. They've got the clap.
Whenever I think of this happening in movies, I went to go see Wonder Woman opening weekends, I don't know, 10 years ago or something. Yeah, have you guys seen that movie?
Mm-mm.
It's terrible movie, really.
It was it was reasonably well reviewed though, and I think people were like, "This is not."
People were
as
just
bad.
giving it good reviews because it was the first woman superhero, so they're like, "Throw it a bone, it's a woman." Hey,
Right.
The movie was terrible, and people at the end of the movie were clapping. They stood up in the Somerville Theater in Davis Square,
Somerville?
standing up, clapping at the screen, and me and Naomi were just like, the fuck is everyone doing here? Did they watch the same movie we did? They're insane. So I feel like I'd be that person in these movies. Be like, did you guys watch that? Hey, you come here. You come here. You're clapping.
You
really
watched
hard.
the same movie
Explain
I
this
did,
movie to
right?
me.
No
Explain
way.
this.
This guy
Right.
stood up and he started clapping. So I stood up and started clapping. I don't know. I was just trying to be nice, man. I don't know.
Hey, what do you guys? What is everyone clapping about? I'm just concerned.
Just stand
What
up in
is
front of the
this?
screen.
This is
what are you
a
guys
fucking
doing?
high
What are
school
you guys,
play here. We're
which
not,
one are you clapping?
You're clapping at this movie, right? There's no
Yeah.
other screen in this room, right? It's just the one screen. I watched this screen. Which screen did you guys watch?
It's not this
screen?
one.
Yeah. All right. What else? The guy, his name is Udo Kier. Udo Kier. He plays the Jewish German guy in this movie. This is the last movie he was in.
Oh,
He died November 23rd last year.
Wow.
He was in a bunch of shit. He had like 275 acting credits in movies.
holy
He
cow.
was the bad guy in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective back in 1994.
Damn.
Classic. And he was also in this movie that the director of this movie did that I saw back when it came out in 2019 called Bacurau, and it was really good. And he was in that as well. So R.I.P. that dude.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, the Tanya Maria character, the old lady, was also in Bacurau.
Okay, that was her acting debut, I think.
Yeah. That movie's good. If you guys are looking for a pretty weird, entertaining foreign movie, Bacurau is a good one.
Really? That was more actual resolving of plot points?
Yes, it's a lot weirder. It's not like it's a kind of a thriller, mystery, sci-fi type of thing. It's out
I
there,
think that's
so.
what makes this hard. Is just it's such a strange juxtaposition that the realism parts of this, that the way it's presented and acted and so forth, combined with the, like, as you say, the sort of art house style of editing and plot devices or like narrative. It's befuddling.
Mm-hmm. For these types of things, I always want to learn something, right? It's like based in reality, so I want to learn about what was going on.
Sure.
That doesn't happen in this movie at all. I learned nothing. I actually think I lose knowledge because I'm so confused. I feel dumber leaving the theater.
That's right. Thus leading to a lessening of self-confidence, which makes it hard to go and learn things afterwards when you're feeling like you're bad about yourself. You know?
Right, and I don't need that. I already have enough of that day to day.
Nice.
That's it. That's all I got.
All right.
Top 250 this one.
No.
Still glad to go to a theater to watch this one, but yeah.
I went to a theater in a place I'd never been to before, Larkspur, California. It was I was the only person under the age of 60 in the theater.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty weird.
Is that like a retirement community or something?
There is a retirement community near there.
Oh, okay.
It must be the place to go see the movie.
Yeah. Seemed like a weird one to go, the face, getting a shot in the face and the guy's like touching the skin coming off it. I'm like,
that was nasty. It was
that was
like also not so expected, but holy cow.
I like it when that part might stick out to me for a while. Like usually shootouts in movies, they're quicker than that, and this one was like, oh, these guys have tiny guns and these little bullets aren't doing enough damage to just knock them to the ground, right? They're still kind of standing. They got the one guy in the eye, but the other guy's just like getting hit 6 times and he's just standing up still. You're like, Jesus Christ, this is fucked up. So, anyway, guys, are you ready?
What are we doing next?
What do you got?
We got 3 more movies to watch all the Oscar movies before, all the Best Picture nominees before the Oscars hit. Next week, let's do the free one that remains. It is Frankenstein, and I say free, but it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
But we're going to do...
No.
Yeah.
Sure?
Am I sure? Are we trying to do this or not, John? That's
All
the
right,
question.
okay. Let's do it. What else do we got besides Frankenstein? We got
Sentimental Value and Hamnet.
Okay, Hamnet is going to be hard to watch
Yes.
in time.
So we're gonna leave that one to last. Hopefully, it comes to streaming before the Oscars hit, because it's no longer in theaters and it is not streaming. But Sentimental Value is like $10 to rent now. So hopefully, in a week, it'll be $6. Fingers crossed.
All right, let's do it. I mean, I've already watched half of it. So.
I've watched 40 minutes of it. Let's all start where we stopped. That'd be funny.
I just can't. I'm not going to have fun with this one. I had, stopped it for a reason.
Yeah.
Can you skip over the scene? Skip over the scene you stopped at.
It's all right.
Maybe I didn't push through far enough. Who knows?
Yeah. It does. At least where I got to is starting to shift in an interesting way, which I like. anyway, yeah. So we'll see.
I stopped in there in the giant house, and there was some ballroom stuff going on, and I was like, I don't really care about this at all.
Really want this at all.
No, yeah.
I
Here we
stopped
go.
when they were
This is,
slicing apart legs.
It's
and
kind of
looked,
a new precedent for us. We're all about to go watch the rest of a film that we all started watching.
Shut up.
Yeah, seriously. That's
good.
never happened before.
No,
You hear it first.
Here we go.
We all stopped the movie and now we're going to watch it because we
bodes
are
really
out
well
of
for how
options, folks.
We are out of our minds, too.
Fine. Let's do it.
Yeah,
let's do
do
it.
it.
All right.
All right.
Sounds
Talk to
great.
you guys next week.
All right. Take care, guys.
Thanks for listening. Go to the
yes.
website. It's a new website. It's very fancy. It's got a lot of information on there. So check it out. And we're pretty soon going to be launching our own top 250s. And then you'll be able to do your own 250s too.
That's right.
That's the plan.
And feel free to donate. There's a PayPal link at the
Give us
bottom.
cash.
Sweet.
We're so in need of cash.
Yeah, we completely
Help
operate.
keep the
in
lights on and pay for the website.
Yeah.
By
Hey,
giving
don't
us
you
a
love it how
donation.
there's no ads? I listen to podcasts sometimes, and I am astonished by how many ads they shove into podcasts
God.
these days. It
Yeah.
is so
Yeah.
annoying.
So give us
Yeah.
some bucks. You
Yeah,
know,
give
we
us
could
monies.
use them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And if you don't, we're still not going to have ads. So, either way, it'll be the same.
No,
Exactly.
Just,